episode 127, and welcome into the Bench is Clear podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants.
And I am Dave Contreras, and I'm going to be representing, from here on out, the side of the Dodgers, Los Angeles Dodgers.
We had a little bit of a mix-up. Tyler, love him to death, but he's just really busy, newly married guy, didn't want to go on with it. So I love him and respect him for that, but we decided we want to keep the trash talk going and the nice rival banter going on. So who better to tap on than the most famous Twitter guy I know? Dave, how you doing? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. I just have to say that's got to be a really small circle then. If I'm the famous Dodger fan, you know. But
yeah, we're
really, really excited for this season and really excited for this new venture. You know, starting this or going on with this podcast with you guys, or with you. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, we're working it out. We're still making moves here. It's okay. But yeah, there's just to close it off and reiterate, there's no issues with Tyler. I love the guy, but you know, if can't do it, it's all good. We love him, but you know, fuck that guy. You can quote me on that. But let's go. Let's start going off with everything else. Yeah, spring trainings. How you feeling with how the offseason went for you? It was okay. Maybe like 2 out of 10.
Really slow, really boring, really slow burning off season. Like nothing excited happened. So, you know, thankfully there's games on now, so we can get excited about something because there was no signings or anything. At least not on my side.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem with Dodger fans. They're just so freaking just rich guy problems and all this signing players early and just, you know, oh, we're gonna get Ohtani, and you know, like it's ridiculous. But yes, let's worry about that later. Let's talk about spring training. Obviously you guys have a lot more to talk about spring training than the Giants, because the Giants they're not even excited enough to even air their games, which is very annoying. It's weird. Like, you know, they you get started with the season and they're like, you know, you start like promoting the season and, oh, baseball's back. And you're like, okay, hell yeah, baseball's back. We're excited. Where can we watch it? And they're like, calm down. We're not that excited. So, but I mean, it is spring training. I mean, spring training is a thing where I'm really excited for a couple weeks and then I'm over it and ready just for opening day. But, you know,
I mean,
there's that side of it.
Like that time when we were in the pandemic and everybody acted like they were watching KBO baseball at 3 a.m. because they needed a fix. But it kind of ended rapidly because they're like, yeah, I'm not staying up till 3. That's how spring training usually is. You like the first couple innings, and then you're like, okay, I'll watch the next one tomorrow when the guys play again. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty exciting because the guys that we are seeing right now, you know, we got some guy that's never pitched in the majors. I think his name is Yamamoto. We had some guy that is only playing for $2 million. You know, taking a
come down. It's still like 46 million on the payroll. Okay, it's not like it's still not 2 million on the payroll. I feel like some people get that a little bit mixed up, but yes, it still counts like 46 million on the payroll. But whatever, yeah, you're 2 million, whatever.
And yeah, so it's exciting times, man. And you guys have the grandson of the wind over there.
Grandson of the wind. It's kind of funny. Like, I mean, that's another thing too. Like this is your big, you know, free agent signing, and it can go very good or very bad, you know, obviously with someone who hasn't played Major League Baseball, especially from the KBO and not from Japan, because, you know, the competition's better in Japan. But that's another thing. You saw Jung Hoo Lee highlights from someone random's phone. Like, the Giants Twitter is retweeting or using someone's random at the game, their phone feed, like just filming a video. Like it's like a child's freaking first steps or something. I don't know. It's like all grainy and shit. I don't know. It's ridiculous. And it kind of makes me upset, especially because, you know, it is spring training game, so it doesn't mean anything, you know, but you do want to see it. But I don't know. That's a whole nother story, but.
Is he going to be wearing skirts when he goes up to bat, or is that?
I feel like with the way the pants look, I think every player needs to start wearing skirts to protect the nutsack. Yeah, like I mean, actually, that's probably the best thing to do at this point.
Yeah.
And I think we'll talk a little bit more about offseason stuff, a little bit later. But at the same time, I already can see the old Giants fans just getting so mad because I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a adjustment period for Jung Hoo Lee. I don't think he's going to come out the gate. I would love it if he does, and I'm rooting for it, but that's something that you can't expect. But they're gonna go back to the old dudes, like, oh, he's too busy picking out skirts to hit the baseball. Like I can already see it. Okay, but yeah,
Listen,
I
man,
don't know.
we got people in our fan base that hate when the Dodgers have fun outside of baseball. Like
Right,
Mookie goes bowling, and it's like, why is he bowling and not focusing on hitting? Why is he
right.
not playing baseball 24/7? And it's like, oh, come on, man, like let them live. As long as they, well, they haven't produced in the playoffs. I think they had 0 hits last year, so I guess you can talk a little crap about them this year. But let the guys live a little.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't also be practicing hitting 24/7. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, don't be an Anthony Rendon about it and be like, yeah, it's my 9 to 5. Just leave me alone after that. But you know, yeah, I don't know. I never understood that. There's a lot of things, but a lot of things are going on. A lot of things are going on around the league. A lot of changes might be made. Commissioner Manfred talking about dropping down these pitching roster spots. Article on Fox News saying the commissioner's thinking about dropping it from 13 to 12. Biggest take on it, Dave. What are you thinking about it?
I think it's problematic. I think it's going to be bad for baseball. I think uh, pitchers are creatures of habit, and first to do a pitch clock, it may seem like nothing, but some guys had to adjust to it, because they've been doing things a certain way forever, so they had to hurry up. Caused injuries, and now this, like, you're going to put more strain on the starting pitchers, guys that are not built to go 200 innings. In this time and age, they throw 99 plus, and they're not built for that. So you're going to create more problems than actually doing any fixing.
And I feel like the whole starters not going deeper into games is bad for baseball. It's been something that's been going on for at least like the past, say, 10 years off top of my head. I think that's about right. But I mean, I think there's a couple reasons for that. Obviously, you see the third time through the order stat, and I think that is very true. I think it's definitely true with certain pitchers. But I also think it's also a way for teams to save money. If you're giving guys chances to get better at going third time through the order, you don't have to, and they end up doing it, then you have to pay them. But if, they're stuck at, only pitching 5 innings, aka Blake Snell, that's one of the negative things against him right now, is that he can't go deep into games. So I mean, I don't know if that's just me putting my tinfoil hat on, trying to get all conspiracy theory, but I don't know. That's
a little tinfoil, because I mean,
a little.
Can you name me 10 pitchers that are like known for going deep into games? I mean, I think I can
right now.
Yeah,
I think I could do 10.
I think we got Garrett Cole number 1 because that guy's a workhorse.
Logan Webb had 200 innings last year. I don't know if you heard of him.
I haven't. I think he. I think he has me blocked somewhere. I don't know if he
Yeah, you probably deserved it. Okay. That's our king. You don't talk bad about our king. All right.
But even then, like, even if it's just 10 pitchers, like, I don't think there's that many pitchers that are built to go that deep now.
But they should be. I mean, if you look 20 years ago, most did. I mean, it's ridiculous when you go on to teams rosters, and I do it often because for some reason I think that if I do the research on who the Giants can trade for, they'll actually listen to me. But I do it often, and you don't even know who the actual starting pitchers on the roster are, because they have just like, hey, we're gonna get 2-3 regular starting pitchers. Hopefully they can give you 5 or 6 and call it a day. And then we got a bunch of fill guys. And that's what I think it is. And, obviously, especially the Giants last year, the way they were developing their pitching. I mean, if you were paying any attention to the minor leagues, it was 3 innings starts here, 3 innings starts there. Like it was very strange. And, so I don't know. Maybe it is a little tinfoil, but you have to believe in some conspiracy theory, and I'm glad it's this one and not like flat Earth or something.
Yeah, I think it was Tampa Bay who really started doing that, right? Like,
yes.
Openers, and and then bulk in eating guys, and it just took off from there, I think.
Yeah, but that goes back to the saving money thing. I feel like I'm onto it now. I feel like you're even convincing me even more. But like because a lot of teams are starting to adopt the Tampa Bay model, not because Tampa Bay is winning a lot of championships, but because Tampa Bay is consistently making the playoffs, and their payroll is like $12.
Yeah, but you have to be able to develop players that well too.
That's true. Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
problem.
they do.
Yeah, like they lost Tyler Glassnow, and I'm like, they're not going to miss a step. They're just going to bring somebody else up. And, it's not even going to matter. Then they're going to trade that dude, and it just keeps going.
I remember seeing a tweet that was like, "Oh, the Rays made a trade. I don't know who's a part of it, but I like this for the Rays." Like they always win fucking trades. It's
exactly
super rare when it's lopsided.
when it's even.
But yeah, I do agree. I think if you do go from 13 to 12, I think you're going to get a lot more of the Phantom IL stuff, which is bad for baseball. It's bad for arbitration, especially young guys when you're talking about their options and all that kind of stuff. And I know the CBA, they kind of started to address it, but if they go from 13 to 12, I don't think they're necessarily going to be like, all right, we got to start letting pitchers go deep. I think they're just going to start playing funky with the Phantom ILs, even though I know the Mets are the one team that got punished for it, but it's obvious that the Giants do it. If you pay any close attention to it, but
I think everybody does it.
I think everyone does too. I'm just not too versed in it. I feel like it's funny that someone else got caught when, just a couple of years ago, Derek Holland's like, yeah, and I got to fake an injury. He's literally saying how he has to fake an injury on fucking interviews. So it's weird someone else got caught.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that's going to happen. You're going to have a bunch of guys manipulating the IL, and then what do you do? Like you already set a precedent with the Mets GM. So what are you going to do now? Like you're going to give them all the same treatment, right? That's what they're going to do.
Almost like California freeways. Like they can't pull us all over if we're going over 80.
Exactly.
So like, I guess so.
Right, we're all going to do it. He can't stop us all.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Well, who knows? It's not like the commissioner's looking to be like, well, how is this going to make me look good? He doesn't give a fuck, So, he's going to do what he wants to do. There was even more rules, pass off this offseason, just taking a little bit more time off the pitch clock, which I don't think is a huge deal, but it was kind of like, come on, dude, we already did it. Like, and it's good. I like the pitch clock, but like, I don't know. I think Manfred will definitely pull a fast one and just fucking do it at the beginning of the season if he wanted to.
He keeps doing things that we don't need. Like we can get used to them, but it doesn't mean we needed them. Like, why did we need bigger bags?
Right. Yes. I don't think the stolen base is that sexy. It's cool. I don't think it's that sexy though to make that big of a deal about it. But I don't know. I also didn't mind it though. Like it was kind of like, but whatever.
There's some rules that I really don't mind. Like I think they made the first base lane bigger now. So for the runner's lane.
Right. They clarified the rule or whatever. Right.
Yeah. Right. Somebody was always getting hit by the ball and be like, well, you're out. But I'm in my lane. You're out. So now they're like, okay, now you're going to be safe. So I don't mind that. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens. And I just don't think it's gonna cure the problem. I think it's just gonna make more ways to go around it. But who knows? Who knows what we'll see? Been seeing a lot though. Seen a lot during spring training. A lot of issues with Shohei striking out, and your guys are pretty bummed that you signed him because he struck out his first appearance. So he's probably pretty bad. How are you feeling about it?
I think they were pretty close to DFAing him.
I would do it
after the second at bat. It was an RBI ground out, but you got to do better than that, right?
You got to be better than that.
You got to be better than that. So they were pretty close to letting him go, but I think he made up for it in his last at bat. And I think there was video of some people reacting to it.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I saw that video. You're talking about the KBR video about. And here's the thing. I feel like some people I don't know if people understand a troll or they're choosing to maybe still play into the troll. I don't know how. I don't get people to see that and to say things like, all the World Series comments. That's, the Mookie comments about how this is every team's World Series. They're even doing it in spring training. This is ridiculous. This is obvious troll. Like, do we really? And the worst thing that I feel like it's a lot coming from Dodger fans, because I understand the Giants aren't exactly favorites to win the NOS, so they're not exactly 100% relevant. But to say things like rent free when something happens is, I hate it. I think it's crazy, because it's like, well, yeah, we live rent free in each other's heads. We're rivals. That's how this works. Like,
Yes.
it doesn't matter. Like, I don't like it's supposed to be this, like, oh, you guys think about it. Yeah, and you think about us too, bitch. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
I don't, though.
Yes,
Don't
you
think
do.
about you guys.
You're such a liar.
I don't think about you guys until I have to think about you guys. It used to be like, okay, what are the Giants doing?
You're
But
telling
not
me.
anymore.
You're telling me. Hold on. Time out. You're telling me you're gonna sit there owning a fireworks stand, and you're gonna tell me that, number one, when we play each other in the regular season, you don't want to win those games just a little bit more.
Oh, of course. But
Okay,
that's what I mean. Like, I don't think about you until I have to.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not thinking about it late in my bed at night, thinking about, oh man, what video can I do against Shohei that's really gonna show him? I don't like. But yes, like, when my thing is, I have two favorite teams. It's the Giants and whoever's playing the Dodgers. That's, when it comes to baseball, Giants are one. But then, I really want the Dodgers to lose a second. That's number two.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, sure. I don't want the Giants
Exactly.
to win.
So we live in your head rent free. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
We're moving in. We're moving in.
But I mean, I'm not making videos of your center fielder just when he strikes out, when he's wearing a skirt. It's like,
well, I think that was in light. I think that was in light of the Mookie comments. I think it was kind of like an answer to, the Mookie comments. And I don't know. I would make a video about it. I mean, like, if I thought it was funny, and you want to do jokes that are just funny, but also make fun of people that you want to see fail. And if there's one team I want to see fail, it's the Dodgers. So, I mean,
but it's beneath you guys. Like, if the Padres did that,
I don't think it is.
D-backs did that, I'm like, yeah, they've never won anything. Well, the Diamondbacks have, but the other guys, yeah, they don't know what it's like. All they have is trolling. And the Giants are like, oh, you guys have won. Come on, act like you've been there. This is cringe.
We should be better than that, Dave. I understand that. But at the moment, like, that's also part of it. Like, here's the thing. I'm an extreme optimist when it comes to the Giants. It could be 5 games left in the season and we're 4 games back, and I'm still like, well, technically, if that's me. So I'm also I do understand where the Dodgers are, and I do understand where the Giants are. So I understand right now you're at top of the food chain. So if I can somehow make fun of you and maybe knock you down a little bit, then I'm going to do it.
What's that like, being hopeful in the regular season, hoping to get a couple wins? What's that feeling like?
You can't remember 10 years or 12 years ago? Okay, it's not that long ago.
I mean, I want to talk about postseason, but regular season,
Yeah. And then that was the one thing we had on you guys for a while, but then 2021 kind of fucked that up, didn't it? But let's not talk about that. We could talk about more of your triumphs. There's so many of the additions that you guys made. If you had to pick a favorite, I mean, obviously, if you want to go through them, I get it. But what is maybe like your favorite? Maybe underrated.
Underrated move?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything underrated about the signs they made.
Probably
unfortunately, like, I don't think they signed anybody under the radar. They're like, oh, this guy might pan out.
Right.
If anything, I'm excited about the youngsters. I really want to see how they do in year 2. But if I have to pick someone, it's probably Yamamoto. Like, he looks filthy, and I'm just
right.
I'm excited to see what he can do in the regular season. If how great he can be, but that's probably the one I'm really excited about. No, I mean, I'm pretty excited about all the moves. I don't think any of them are underrated. But, I mean, you bring a guy in like Shohei, it completely changes the lineup. Like, no matter what, it changes the lineup. We got, like, Teoscar Hernandez, that anybody else would be excited if that's the only guy they got for the offseason. He's going to be like our 7th hole hitter. Like, right. We're so excited about Shohei that we haven't even given enough time to be excited about these other guys that they've made. moves on. And then you got Yamamoto, and like if that wasn't enough, then you get Glassnow. So while you're being excited for Yamamoto, it's like, oh yeah, but there's this guy too who could be really, really good now that he's really healthy, supposedly. So
Right.
I think I'm more excited about how the youngsters do because I think they're going to get a good opportunity with Walker Buehler out and Kershaw out. So really excited about Emmett and Sheehan and Bobby Miller to see how they do in their second year in the bigs.
Bobby B, I get it, or Bobby M, whatever,
Bobby
whatever
has
it is. All right.
Miller
Okay,
time.
name. Yeah, you're talking about how. I mean, technically, if you think about it, Glassnow is kind of underrated move because it gets no fucking traction. Um, like I feel like nobody's talking about it, and maybe this is just me talking shit, but I'm sure if the Giants got Glassnow, I'd probably talk about it for about 50 minutes. But I get it. I understand. Poor
Yeah,
man. You're
that's.
talking. You're talking about tax. You having to pay your taxes and how hard it is. I understand.
I mean,
I'm
that's how big the moves were. That Glassnow is like back page news that we're not even talking about him, and
right.
he's such a.
And I trust me. If there's anyone that wants to move on, it's me. But like I live in Southern California, and I talk to people at my work, and they're just like I just feel like no one like people just don't understand how insane it is that they signed both Yamamoto and Ohtani. Like there was no one that thought. I feel like anyone who said that they thought they can get both of them was pretty delusional. So to spend $1 billion not, I mean, everyone was screaming their heads off when Texas signed Seager and Simeon when it was half a billy. Um, and so to do both these, it's just insane. I mean, I really hope that it's one of those that just doesn't work out for obvious reasons, but I mean that I don't see that happening realistically for the next 5 to 7 years at best. So we got a long 5 to 7 years ahead of us. While we're
Listen,
over here, go for it.
listen. I don't have sources, but
Mm,
I'm sure that they laid an egg in the playoffs because this was a master plan. They're like, hey man, we're gonna lose to the crappiest team or whoever makes it out of the wild card, and then they'll have to get Yamamoto and Otani. They'll have to. And
I love it.
no man, it was a calculated risk, and it
Mhm.
worked out.
That's what I love about you, Dodger fan. Like, no matter how scared I get sometimes, and I realize how many excuses you guys make, and it brings me back to earth, and it makes me excited. So I appreciate that. But let's talk about our underrated moves. Obviously, it has to be one. Um, I don't know if you want to call it unsolicited. I know unsolicited. You know, texts are very frowned upon, but unsolicited workout videos. I'm not sure what category that falls in, but our underrated move might be Pablo Sandoval. Who knows what that happens? He's 37 years old, but he's skinny. That could be good. But then again, fat Pablo and Sandoval was always better. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's good to have him in camp to mentor young guys and all that kind of stuff. But I don't see him making a team unless JD Davis gets hurt and he becomes maybe Schmidt's backup or something. That's the only thing I can think of.
Hey, what is he mentoring them on? How to like hit the buffet, fast? What was he? What's he gonna do?
Prime Pablo could hit. Okay, let's not forget. Okay, let's not forget who has a World Series MVP. Okay, let's simmer down now. But yeah, I mean, like the young Latin guys. When it comes to Matos and Luciano, it's good to have them in camp. I thought honestly when I first heard about it, I thought it was more of like a Romo situation last year where he's gonna do some spring training games, kiss some babies, sign some autographs, and just roll out into the sunset. But there's no negative. I really there's no negative in it. It can't hurt. It's always good to see him in a Giants uniform. But I really hope in August he's not batting third,
It's a
or
fun
unless
story.
that just means he's fucking going bananas. And yes, I mean he had a 6-run home run. Let's not forget.
Yeah, it's a fun storyline. I don't think he even makes the team,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just something for the fans, I think.
Yeah. He did say he's willing to go to AAA, so I fully expect him going to AAA. Like I said, barring a major injury to like two of the right people, I guess, but I don't see it happening.
But like, okay, so talking about your San Francisco greats, there's a guy that signed with a team that's not the Giants, and it should have been.
Mixed emotions.
Brandon Crawford.
Emotions. That is weird. Big B Crawl, the Gold Glove wearing. Look at that on the camera. It's real. I'm definitely getting you a Cardinals bobblehead of him. If it comes out, I don't know how I'll get it, but I'm gonna get it for you. eBay's a hell of a drug. Yeah, I mean, I'm bummed either way. We talked a little bit about this before we started, but I would have been bummed either way. If they signed him, that means you got to give him at bats. And if you want Luciano to be the guy, you just need to just give him the at bats, or let Fitzgerald, or you trade for Otto Lopez, and he looks pretty good for spring training. So haven't got to see him too much defensively. So I don't know exactly how he is, because apparently the Giants don't like to air games, but you just got guys you want to try out, and it's like, listen, Brandon Crawford is the best shortstop in Giants history. I love him to death. If anyone can appreciate good infield defense, it's me. It gets me going, so I get it. But it's over, man. I really thought it was going to be like, hey, I was just riding to the sunset and we're good, but play until the jersey's ripped off your back. I get it. I would have been bummed that he took away spots. I'm really bummed that he's going to St. Louis, because the Giants will probably never win a game against the Cardinals this year with Arenado and Goldschmidt in the lineup, and then a pissed off Brandon Crawford. I feel like Brandon Crawford's going to hit like 180, but like 400 against the Giants. So it's just going to be one of those things.
You think he has enough left in the tank?
Crawford?
Yeah.
To do what?
To stay with the team the whole year.
Oh, that's a good question. That's actually a very good question. I don't know. He's a dependable glove. He's a dependable glove. And I don't know. I think he does care about his legacy, because it was like widely reported he was really bummed when the Giants maybe signed Correa, that he was going to go to third, and, he was going to take away like the longest shortstop in Giants history thing and all that kind of stuff. But I think he would rather accept like a phantom IL and then maybe just, never come back than just to be DFA'd. I don't know. That's a rough question. I don't want that for him, especially because he's not on my team anymore. So I don't want that for him. I would love it if he at least was okay to at least be the backup. There was talk about him maybe moving around position to position, maybe playing some second, maybe playing some third. Obviously if like Arenado's hurt, but I don't really know the Cardinals infield situation too much. I know they got like a stud prospect, and they always got Tommy Hedman and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know their second base situation too much, but I don't know. I think it's possible. Long story short, a long-winded way of saying, I hope so, but I don't know. I mean, Brandon Crawford can go off and be solid for a minute, but at the same time, he can also be very cold, and it's very possible that he gets DFA'd, because the Cardinals come to Oracle literally the last series of the year. So I hope he makes it.
It's Mason Wynn, I believe, the young shortstop, right?
Yeah.
So he might
guy
be
who throws really fast.
Probably a mentor to him if he stays, but I don't know, man. I don't know if he's. I think we were in the same position with Kershaw. I know he has, plenty left in the tank still, but like.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
But it was like, if he chose to retire because he didn't want to do the rehab or whatever it was, I would have been bummed. But I would have been more bummed if he ended up signing somewhere else.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I kind of get it, but it's sad. But you also didn't have a spot for him in the team for Crawford, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified, because at first I thought you were, because I hate it when Dodger fans are like, oh God, Kershaw's just so bad now. Oh, he's so washed. And it's like, he technically hasn't had a bad season, like at all. I mean, it's not obviously prime Kershaw, and obviously he's not throwing as much, and he's on the IL, but if you got young guys to plug in for it, who fucking cares?
I think it's like the perfect scenario for him too, because he gets the rehab. He'll be fresh when he comes back, and there's not so much season left when he comes back. So hopefully the hope is that, he'll be Kershaw, he'll be himself for the last part of the season into the playoffs.
Yeah, I guess we shall see. It is what it is. But I mean, getting back to what everyone wants to hear about the big Giants offseason moves. I mean, I don't want to seem like too doomsday. I'm very optimistic about Jung Hoo Lee. I love the Jorge Soler move. On the fence about the Jordan Hicks move. I mean, no matter what, it's not really a bad situation because he's proven to be a good back of the bullpen piece. So was it 11 million a year for an eighth inning guy? Slot right by Camilo Doval. I don't see that being a bad thing at all. So, but I really hope he can make it as a starter. Really worried about the starting rotation. Every single day, I know this is going to sound crazy, but the Ross Stripling and the Anthony DeScalfani dumps are looking worse and worse unless they sign Blake Snell, because you got to think, I mean, right now, the only proven starter in this rotation is Logan Webb. So, I mean, you got 4 spots for Jordan Hicks, obvious, solid big leaguer, but just in the bullpen. Don't know if he could be a starter. And then you got, a bunch of maybe like 4 to 6 young guys who could slot in that rotation, but it's like they haven't pitched a full season, and you don't know when Cobb's coming back. You don't know when Robbie Ray's coming back. I do like the move of Robbie Ray, don't get me wrong, but you don't know when he's coming back, and this is going to be his first time from Tommy John. Probably won't look like himself, so who knows?
What about Kyle Harrison? How excited are you about that for him?
I'm extremely excited about him. Talent-wise, Kyle Harrison and Keaton Winn, I'm extremely excited for, and I'm excited that they're pretty much, anchored into that rotation, but I'm worried that they have to depend on him so much to give him some innings when they haven't pitched a full season yet. That's the only thing I'm really worried about. Talent-wise, Keaton Winn and Kyle Harrison, I'm really excited they get their shot, but dependability, kind of scared. When it comes to Tristan Beck, and the different guys like in AAA that are going to round out that rotation, and are going to come up until Cobb and Ray get back. I'm a little worried about exactly how their talent, especially if Jelly's supposed to be in the rotation. Unless he's playing the Padres, he's kind of really scary. So I don't know. This is my way of saying they need to sign Blake Snell. They need one more signing to call this offseason successful, because they're not trying to. I mean, they're not trying to compete with the Dodgers at this point. They can't, after the Dodgers sign Yamamoto and Ohtani, they're not trying to compete right now. They're trying to get a wild card spot, and with these offseason moves and hopefully a Snell or Montgomery, I think they can get a wild card spot. I don't think that's far-fetched at all.
See, that's my question too. Like, okay, so you shell out the money for Snell, but where do you think you guys are going to compete for a wild card spot? You think, or you think you definitely make the playoffs, or?
I don't think we definitely made. I think we're in the same boat we've been in since probably 21 at the beginning. I'm talking about beginning of the year. Obviously, 2021 exceeded everyone's expectations, but at 21, it's one of those. I think that they can get a wild card spot. I mean, I think that a lot of these wild card teams, a lot of them didn't get better. Only some of them did, and I think they can get a spot.
Well, excluding the Dodgers, where do you have them ranked in the NL West? Like,
I think it's very possible their ceiling is second, but their floor is would it be fourth or third? Yeah. Sorry, wait,
no,
yeah, fourth. Yeah, they're fourth. There's no way they're going to be worse than the Rockies, but yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know how, but then again, it's the Giants, man, and your devil magic, man. You guys are just, what was it, 21, where you guys just couldn't lose?
It looks like you're thinking about us when you don't have to. I don't know. That's just me talking. But no, yeah, I think and I don't know, you get rid of someone like Jock Peterson, who strikes out all the fuck. And I know Soler strikes out a lot too, but he has a lot more upside than Jock Peterson. You get the outfield defense is better with Jung Hoo Lee, I believe. I mean, obviously he's never played Major League, but I mean, I think from scouts are saying that he would be a better center fielder than anyone that we have at the moment. So, you got to trust and believe that, so I don't know. Michael Conforto was your starting right fielder. Now he's left field. That lets Yaz and Slater, platoon and right. I think it's very possible. I think if they don't make the playoffs, it would be a devastating season.
For who? Because
for the Giants.
It would be comical for me. Is he
Yeah, oh
hot?
yeah.
So I don't think that's
yeah, of course,
that's a
yeah.
great season.
But like, I don't think it's crazy to think that the Diamondbacks, they could take a step back. It's very possible they take a step back. It's extremely possible that the Padres take a step back. They lost arguably their best hitter and their best starter. So I mean,
See, but I'm not ready to judge any of the teams just yet.
I will judge the Padres because they always fuck it up. They're the NOS version of the Mets, so I will judge them. But yes, go ahead.
Only because you have so many good free agents still left that any of these teams can get if they wanted to. They got JD Martinez.
True.
You've got Snell. You got Montgomery. You got Lorenzen in there too to give you some innings. Like Chapman on the offensive side. There's some guys still that these teams can get, and then it changes a little how you view the team.
That's 100% true. But from what I understand, the Padres are shedding salary like it's nobody's business. So if they do add, I would imagine that add would be Michael Lorenzen, Noah Syndergaard, maybe a JD Martinez, maybe. But like,
I don't see them get. I think they get like Tommy Pham or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly. That's what I see them doing. I don't see them making a play for Snell. I don't see them making a play for, not only because of money, but position wise, where are you going to put Matt Chapman? You know what I mean? So they have like 45 shortstops and Manny Machado at third. So,
but theoretically, a team with Tatis and Machado should be there theoretically. But as we've seen, if chemistry isn't there or whatever it is going on in that team, then it doesn't matter how much talent you have.
Yeah, I will continue to think of the Padres as the team that will always fuck it up. 2022 was their big, accomplishment in a very long time, and to me, I mean, this is maybe this turns into a clip that gets played over and over at the Padres World Series parade, but I will continue to believe that the Padres will find a way to fuck it up until they don't.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I'm the number one. I troll them so much online, so of course they're gonna, they know I'll agree with what you just said. So
I love that. Well, while we're in agreement, let's close this out, man. Let's talk about like this lastly to close this episode out, man. Maybe give me a one bold prediction for the season, and we'll go from there.
Bold prediction. Let's see.
Let me
give me yours first. Give me yours first so I can think about it a little bit.
Okay, turn it around. I like it. How the turntables. I got a bold prediction. And to be honest, it's not even my bold prediction. This is MLB's bold prediction. They came out with a stat line for Jung Hoo Lee that I saw and I couldn't believe. I was almost floored. Just because like I said, I was hoping that they signed him. I'm really happy that they signed him. I'm really excited for his development, but I also think he's going to have an adjustment period. I think honestly, this is more of a signing that might look good starting next year than this year. I think there's going to be a learning curve, but I'm going to go with MLB's bold prediction because I don't want to be outmatched. They had a stat line of him hitting over 300. I think it was like 12 to 15 home runs, one of those two. And like an OPS, in the 8s. So give me that, and I am put it to bed. That is my bold prediction. Jung Hoo Lee hitting, I'll go a little bit over what they said. Let's say 320 and 15 bombs. Let's go.
Okay. All right, well, I'll match your prediction with wait, he's Korean, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah, he was from the KBO, not Japan.
Yeah, I'll go with
I know every single time your team signs someone, they're Japanese. I get it, but there's Korean baseball players too. All right.
Let me make my bold prediction with Roki Sasaki. Oh, wait. We'll get him next year. My bad. Hold on.
At some point you got to run out of fucking money. Like, I'm sorry. I literally, that's exactly what I was telling people when they signed Ohtani, and they're like, oh, we're going to get a Yamamoto. And I said, at some point you're going to run out of money, but really now I feel like it. Sometime they're going to run out of money, and that's for him. All right. So no.
I don't see it, man. I just don't see us running out of money with have you seen the coverage that Ohtani's getting? Like, it's just he's gonna make money.
I know. I see it in my fucking sleep, dude. Yes, I see the coverage of Ohtani.
Well, my not so bold prediction is that the Japanese brothers are going to win the NL MVP and the Cy Young.
I think that that's very bold because with Ohtani just being DH this year, I feel like there's almost 0% chance he wins MVP.
And I think opposite because he only has to focus on hitting, and we're going to see a monster at the plate, a guy that's just focused on hitting.
Right.
So.
But on this podcast, I've always been Ohtani wins the MVP until he's not, a solid major league player on both sides of the ball. So for me, I think there's almost 0% chance because it's like to be a DH, you have to do so much above, let's say, Ronald Acuna hits this year because he also plays a position and he's, provides good defense from that position. So I don't know, 2-dimensional versus 1-dimensional. He's got to beat him by a lot. Like if their numbers are close, I would give it to, Ronald Acuna all day. But, obviously if, their average is pretty close and Ohtani has like 20 more home runs, then yeah, maybe. But,
when we come back at the end of the year and he has like 70 home runs and 130 or 40, 50, whatever it is, RBI, and he has like 50 stolen bases, you'll be like, you know what? Yeah, this guy's the greatest.
Maybe, man. Yeah, and I probably, now that he's in a Dodger uniform, I'm not gonna want him to be MVP. I'm also one thing you'll learn about me, Dave. I'm the king of mental gymnastics, so I will find a way where he's not MVP. So it's no big deal.
You don't get a vote, so we're good.
Yet, I still got a little bit of fight left in me.
Yeah, so not so bold, but I think they do it.
Well, if one team does it, I mean, I guess, they'll probably get all the votes because they're spending $1 billion fucking dollars. Anyways, that's it. That's the pod.
Before we sign off.
Nope, that is it. That is the Go for it.
Who wins the season series between us? Are we going to bet on it?
What's kind of funny is for the longest time, the Giants always played the Dodgers really well, even when they were a 100-loss team. It just feels like in the Farhan era, they're so built like kind of, I want to say similar, for obvious reasons, but like their philosophies have been very similar to where it feels like they have not played them as well in this era of Giants baseball. So, you know what? Fuck it though. I'm going to go with my heart. Giants are going to be in the season series. It's going to be close. There's 13 games. I will go 6-7 Giants.
That's cute. I think there's going to be like one series that's going to be really tough, and you guys might win like one game. But other than that, I think we're going to be okay. I think we take the season series.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we take the season series, and that's because that's our World Series. We'll be winning the World Series. But yeah, I'll bet on it. I'll bet it on it any day.
We'll come back to this later.
We'll come back. We'll think about it every week.
Yeah.
It'll be a thought bubble for next week, which we will be back next week. We are 100% back. Thank you guys for sticking with us through the ups and downs of this pod. Hope to continue with you, and make sure to subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform and on YouTube. Because we need all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
thank you guys for welcoming me in, and I hope to live up to defending the good guys on the right side of baseball. So yeah.
Taking the white man's job. I love it. Yes, thank you so much. And we'll see you next week. And that's it. Next week.
See you guys.